Have you ever wondered why so many older adults wake up at 3 a.m. and can't seem to fall back asleep? You might lie there in the quiet darkness staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong with your body or your mind. The truth is, this is more common than you think, and it's not just a random habit or a result of getting older in this video. We're exploring 5 powerful reasons why people tend to wake up around 3 a.m. as they age, and what those early morning wake-ups may be trying to tell you. Each reason reveals something deeper about your body, your health, and your life experience. And by the end of this video, you may see your sleep in a whole new light. These aren't just surface-level explanations either. They're rooted in real physiology, psychology, and the rhythms of aging that most people aren't even aware of. We'll talk about changes in hormones, sleep patterns, health challenges, even emotional and social influences that could be quietly working behind the scenes, and we'll do it in a way that's honest, empowering, and deeply respectful of the life you've lived so far. So, if you've ever found yourself waking up around 3 a.m. and asking why, now you're in the right place. Stay tuned until the end, because what you learn here might not only help you sleep better, it could help you better understand and appreciate what your body is going through. Now let's get started. Number 1, reduce melatonin production. One of the clearest reasons older adults wake up in the middle of the night, often around 3 a.m., is the natural decline in melatonin production. That comes with age. Melatonin is the hormone that helps regulate our sleep wake cycle, often called the body's internal clock, and it plays a key role in helping you fall asleep and stay asleep. When you were younger, your body likely produced a strong, steady amount of melatonin each night, allowing you to enjoy long stretches of deep, uninterrupted rest. But as the years go by, your body starts to make less of it, and that shift can have a real impact on how soundly you sleep. You might still fall asleep easily at night, especially if you've had a full day or a relaxing evening. But by the early hours of the morning, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m., that natural supply of melatonin can dip too low to keep you in that restful state. You may find yourself waking up not because of a loud noise or a dream, but because your brain is slowly shifting back toward wakefulness without enough melatonin to hold you in sleep. This isn't something you're doing wrong, and it doesn't mean your body is failing. It simply means your internal chemistry is changing with age. What's more, the bedroom environment can make this effect worse. Even small amounts of light from a street lamp outside the window, a blinking clock on the nightstand, or a hallway light under the door can suppress melatonin even further. Your body becomes more sensitive to environmental triggers as you age, which can make that 3 a.m. wake-up feel all the more frustrating. Take, for instance, Harold, who's now 72 and always considered himself a good sleeper lately, though he finds himself wide awake around 3:15 a.m. Most nights, he doesn't feel anxious or upset, just fully alert as if it's time to start the day. Once he understood that this wasn't a failure on his part, but a normal part of aging tied to melatonin, he stopped blaming himself and started adjusting his habits. He now keeps his bedroom darker, avoids screens an hour before bed, and takes a brief evening walk to reinforce his natural circadian rhythm. These small changes help signal to his body that it's still nighttime. And while he still wakes up early, sometimes he's learned to work with his body instead of against it. This kind of understanding can be a game changer. When you know that waking up early might not be your fault, but rather a natural chemical shift, you can take steps to support your sleep. Instead of resenting your body, that's the power of awareness. It turns frustration into compassion, and it helps you make wiser choices about how you care for yourself at night. Number 2, shifted sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another significant reason older adults tend to wake up around 3 a.m. is due to a natural shift in the body's internal clock, a phenomenon known as advanced sleep phase. As we age, our circadian rhythms start to move forward, which means we may begin to feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. You might notice yourself nodding off during a late-night movie or waking up without an alarm at dawn, even on days when you wish you could sleep longer. This shift isn't just a matter of habit. It's deeply rooted in biology, and it can become more pronounced with each passing year. In younger years, the body's rhythm is often aligned with a later bedtime and a wake-up time that feels more in sync with the sun. But as this rhythm advances, the sleep window naturally shifts forward. You may fall asleep at 9 p.m. or even earlier, without intending to, which means your body has already gotten its full cycle of rest by the time 3 a.m. rolls around. That's why you might find yourself wide awake in the middle of the night, feeling as though your rest is complete, even if it's still pitch dark outside. This doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It just means your body is operating on a different schedule. Now think of it like a clock that's been gently reset over the years, ticking ahead a little bit more each season. And while this isn't harmful, it can be frustrating if your lifestyle, family routine, or personal preferences don't align with this new rhythm. There's also a quiet psychological side to this change. Many older adults live in quieter households or spend more time alone, and that peaceful environment can amplify the body's signals to wind down earlier in the day without the constant activity or noise that might have once delayed bedtime. Your system begins its nightly shutdown process much sooner. And if you're no longer working full-time or following a strict daily routine, the lack of external time cues like meetings, commutes, or social gatherings can make this internal shift even stronger. Let's take a look at someone like Charles, who's 68 and retired. He often eats dinner around 5:30 p.m. and watches television for an hour before heading to bed by 9 p.m. He's asleep, and by 3 a.m. his body is naturally ready to wake up. He doesn't feel anxious or stressed, just alert. At first, he thought it was insomnia, but once he learned about advanced sleep phase, he realized his sleep wasn't broken. It was simply rescheduled. Charles began adjusting his evening routine to stay up just a little longer, reading a book with a warm light, taking a gentle walk after dinner, and occasionally calling his daughter for a quick chat before bed. These small social and sensory cues help stretch his sleep window, just enough to shift his wake-up time closer to morning. The result: fewer 3 a.m. wake-ups and a deeper sense of alignment with his daily life. This natural shift in the sleep cycle is something many older adults experience, but few talk about understanding it can remove a great deal of guilt or confusion and offer a more compassionate way to work with your body instead of fighting it. So if you're waking up around 3 a.m. and it feels like you've had a full night's sleep, your body may simply be on an earlier schedule now, and once you know that, you can begin to shape your routine in ways that support your well-being. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, physical discomfort and health-related interruptions. Another common reason older adults wake up around 3 a.m. is the body's response to physical discomfort or underlying health issues that tend to surface during the quiet hours of the night. As we get older, the chances of dealing with chronic conditions or subtle health problems increase, and many of these conditions have a way of disrupting sleep. Without sounding loud alarms, they creep in quietly, like a sore joint, a full bladder, or a sudden twinge in the back. And that's often enough to bring you out of a restful state. Right in the middle of the night, conditions like arthritis, for example, can make lying in the same position for hours uncomfortable. You may not notice the discomfort when you first fall asleep, but after several hours of stillness, those aches can build up enough to nudge you awake for others. Nighttime acid reflux may stir them from sleep, especially if they've eaten dinner too late or reclined too soon after eating. Even something as seemingly simple as dry mouth muscle cramps or a slight change in room temperature can trigger a light awakening around the early morning hours when your body's defenses are already more sensitive and less forgiving than they used to be. One of the most common physical reasons older men wake up at 3 a.m. is the need to urinate as we age. The bladder becomes less elastic, and the urge to relieve it can come on faster. And more frequently, you might not feel it during the day, when distractions keep your mind occupied. But at 3 a.m., in a dark and quiet room, that sensation becomes impossible to ignore.